I was 32 years old when I carried the sealed letter from Dover to London, and I did not know what was inside it. That was the point. Men like me were kept useful precisely because we asked no questions. I had served in the court of Charles II for 6 years by then. I knew his habits, his moods, his love of theatre and women and late suppers. What I did not know what very few knew was that my king had been quietly writing to Louis of France for months, promising things that no English parliament would ever approve. I learned the truth from a man named Harwick, a clerk who drank too much and trusted me too little, which made him careless. He told me one night in a tavern near the Thames that the treaty had already been signed. That Charles had promised to declare himself Catholic, to support France against the Dutch, and to receive a pension from Louis in exchange. A pension. The King of England, drawing a salary from a foreign crown. I did not sleep that night. The hardest part was not the betrayal itself. Kings betray. That is older than memory. The hardest part was watching the men around me celebrate the Dutch war as if it were England's idea, as if we had chosen it freely, as if thousands of our sailors were dying for our own reasons and not because a French king had paid for it. I stayed silent for 2 years. I told myself it was loyalty. It was not. It was fear, and I knew the difference. When the truth began to leak as it always does, slowly, through the cracks of too many mouths I was questioned. A committee, 3 men, a cold room. They asked what I knew and when I knew it. I told them everything. Not because I had become brave, but because Harwick had already spoken and I had no protection left in silence. Charles never converted publicly. The pension ran out. The Dutch war ended badly. The treaty was never fully honored by either side, which is perhaps the only honest thing about it. I was dismissed from court in the spring of that year. Given a small sum and a letter of recommendation that was carefully vague about my role. I took it. I moved to Bristol, opened a small trade account, and built a quiet life. I am not proud of the 2 years I said nothing. But I have stopped punishing myself for them. I was one man in a machinery that ground forward regardless of what I did or did not do. The king died in 1685. On his deathbed, they say, he finally converted. Privately. As he had always intended. Some promises, it seems, are just slow.